Waiting to get a confirmation that I am live. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourselves. Get excited. Get ready. And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coro Chronicles. Today, how to turn stress and anxiety into a little bit of gratitude as well as productivity. Now, why am I filming this? I'm filming this because we are at an unprecedented time. We are at a time where, I am speaking to people on a daily basis, and I'm seeing the levels of stress and anxiety that people have. And rightly so. I completely understand. I completely understand the fears, not just for people's health, but for people's the economy, seeing friends, family, etc., etc. I get it. There's a lot of challenges that people are going through right now. And this is one of those times where and this is the reason I wanted to record this video, because let me put it to you this way. So many people are stuck at home doing self-isolation at the moment. Great. However, in this self-isolation period, what many people are doing is they just keep looking at their phones and just getting bombarded with a number of WhatsApp messages, forwards, news, fake news, real news, nobody knows anymore. And it's causing so much fear, so much anxiety. So I wanted to talk through a couple of suggestions, ways to help people cope, as well as not just cope, but even to thrive a little bit. Because look, with every challenge that comes up in today's day and age, there are also opportunities at the same time. And I get it, the challenges may be very overwhelming, but at the same time, there are a number of opportunities that you could potentially take advantage of if we use our time wisely. And so let me put it to you, let me tell you why this all came about, right? I was speaking to one of my very, very good friends, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? What are you up to?" And he's just like, "Man, I'm just so afraid. I'm not really doing much. I'm so bored at home. I'm trying to get things done." And I was like, "Okay, my heart's going out to you, brother, etc." And then I was thinking about it, and he was the same guy that was telling me, just a few weeks back, he was like, "Oh man, I wish I could do this, but I just don't have time. I wish I could do this, but I don't have time. I wish I could do that, but I don't have time." And he's got his own business, and which wouldn't really be, obviously most businesses are impacted at this point in time, but he could still do a lot to help his business grow. But he was spending a lot of time reading a number of messages, becoming an expert on coronavirus, which he has no control over. And he was living in fear, but at the same time, he's living in fear, but he's not in danger because he's self-isolated. Like, okay, I get there's fear in of stepping out and everything, but if you're not stepping out, then why be afraid? So I was thinking about it, and I just thought, so many people are in that position. And for those of you that don't know me, I've studied a lot of different things to do with the mind, and I think that there's a number of solutions and and a number of suggestions that I'm going to have. I want to give you that will potentially help you if you are feeling fear, if you are feeling anxiety, if you are feeling stress, and how you can actually turn those, how to manage those, but then also how to make the most of it and actually turn it into a way where you can become productive. So, and look, here's the reality, right? If you don't start to manage these things, then anxieties and fears can really become into mental health challenges, because people's fears, anxieties, if they aren't addressed, really become challenges in the long term. They become, people get really stressed and anxious, and that doesn't help your immune system, by the way. So if you're worried about getting sick, then the worry is most likely going to make you sick. And I don't want that for you. So what do we do about it? But first of all, let me press a couple of buttons. Boom, my name is Muneer, and I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to this video because I truly believe that this is something that can help you and can help a lot of people. And please feel free to share it with someone that you think will benefit from this video. Because I truly think that this is something that will really help a lot of people. And if you do apply some of the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I swear, I think that you can make this such a productive time. I think that you can achieve some amazing things that you've wanted to achieve for a long time. And I think that you can turn around a negative, being afraid of being sick, into a positive where you can potentially be at the best immunity of your life because of this. And so I want to talk about some of these strategies, share with you some of these ideas that I've learned from some of the greatest experts around the world. And the first one, I suppose the first concept is understanding how we think, how you use your mind. What causes stress? What causes anxieties? What causes happiness, etc. And ultimately, the way we think is mainly three ways, right? It's what we visualize, so what we're visualizing, what we hear or what we say to ourselves, or the things that we're remembering in terms of sounds, and then what we feel. And so I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways to mind hack your way into managing the stress and overcoming some of those things. So the first and the most simple one is what are you focusing on, right? So if, for example, on a daily basis, you're just seeing a number of WhatsApp messages saying, oh my God, this number of people died, this happened, etc., then your focus is always on what's wrong, and then perhaps you might even be asking yourself, what's wrong? I want to ask you right now, what's good about the situation? Now, you might be like, no, there's nothing good about this. The whole world is... But if you had to find something that's good for you about this situation, what would it be? So, for example, today I had to teach my daughter something because we have to do e-learning. Now, initially, that's a big challenge. I mean... getting to grips with the software, getting to grips with the lesson, and my wife went crazy. However, saying that, when I did kind of get round to it and I started applying some of the mind hacks, and I was like, oh my God, this also applies to kids. And I was finding great ways, and I made games out of teaching my daughter. At one point, it didn't come to me initially, but it came to me a bit later. And I was like, wow, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to have discovered something new. I was grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've been so busy doing so many other things that I found time to play with my kids, to do some awesome things, to spend time with my family and take a bit of a time out. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I'm making progress on my book. I'm grateful that that I have looked at a couple of goals that I've wanted to achieve for a long time, and I'm starting to tick those off. I'm grateful that I have friends that I haven't spoken to in a long time because we've all been very, very, very busy. And friends that have reached out and said, hey, I hope you're okay. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that we're kind of learning new things about ourselves, about how to manage ourselves, about what is important in our lives. And while it might be a bit of a challenge, I'm grateful. So, what are you grateful for? And why do I ask this? Why do I ask this question? Why do I talk about this? Here's an interesting thing for you, right? So one day I was sitting and I was talking to my friend, and we're sitting and we're laughing and we were just having a great conversation. And then I asked a question, like, I can't remember what the question was. I think it was about, do you miss this person, someone that they hadn't seen for a long time, and etc. And went from a really happy person to a really like, yeah, really kind of focus, like, because where attention goes, energy flows. I asked the wrong question, and it had a massive effect on her physiology, the way she spoke, the way she was, her laughter. And then just maybe 10 minutes later, I said, "Oh, by the way, you just finished that project. I mean, how did it feel when you did that?" And then all of a sudden she lit up again and very happy. And I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't think I could do it." But I was so happy. I was so proud of myself, etc. And here's the thing. If you ask yourself the right question, it directs your mind to the right place. And if you start to direct your mind to the right place, you can achieve so many amazing things. Oops, sorry. Better make a note of this. So what questions are you asking yourself? If you can ask yourself the right question, it will literally take away a lot of the stress. And here's the thing. When you're grateful, anxiety and stress cannot exist. Fear isn't existing. And so asking yourself, what am I grateful for? Or what is good about this? It may be a challenging question, but your mind is a supercomputer, it will answer the questions that you ask it. And if you ask it crappy questions like, "Oh, now what? Oh, what's gonna happen now?" Or, "Oh my God, can it get any worse?" Or whatever. These are crappy questions, and your mind will find answer to it. Your mind is a supercomputer. You put in the command, it will give you an answer. So why not ask it an amazing question, an empowering question, one that's going to give you some great answers? Stuff like, how can I make the most of this? What is good about this? What can be good about this? How is this making me better? Those are great questions. And when you ask them, stand back and be surprised. The next thing. So I said to you think in a number of different ways. So that is a little bit of auditory and visualization. What are you visualizing? What are you hearing yourself say? A couple of kinesthetic ones that can actually alleviate stress. So I'm not going to go into the technique too much, but the science behind it. I'll give you a very, very brief summary, but there's a technique called havening, right? And basically, if you put your hands on your shoulders and you start to rub down as you breathe calmly, what happens is the nerve endings on your arms, when you're stimulating in a slow, consistent basis, send up signals to your brain which tell it to send calming thoughts, calming feelings. I mean, just imagine a kid running up to a parent after it falls down and he just wants to be hugged, and you go, there. So we've been taught from a very young age that this is calming, this is soothing. And so one of the techniques that's been proven to just take away stress and is is havening. And one of the ways to do havening is just focusing on your breathing and just stimulating your arms by doing that. So just taking a deep breath and stimulating the nerve endings. Okay? Another technique that you can help alleviate stress and anxiety is laughter yoga. Now, here's the crazy thing, right? If you haven't heard of laughter yoga, it is one of the most amazing things. We all know that laughter is the best medicine. I'm guessing that you guessed that right. And laughter is the best medicine. And you can actually fake laughter until you make it. And your brain doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined or vividly imagined or vividly created. So if you create the physiology and fake laugh for a few minutes, it becomes almost as it becomes real laughter, and it gives you the benefits of real laughter. And the crazy thing is, if you try fake laughing for a couple of minutes, it becomes real laughter after a little bit of time. And that's the whole concept behind laughter yoga. There are so many studies out there that prove that laughter actually reduces your cortisol levels, your stress hormones, increase your happiness hormones, as well as increase your immunity system and blood flow and a number of things. Very well researched, very heavily researched all around the world. This is one of the greatest things that you can do. It also improves mental health, gets rid of depression in the long term, and a number of benefits. So if you find it hard initially, find things that are funny, watch a sitcom, etc., and force yourself to laugh out loud. It also, by the way, it also helps you burn calories and also increases your oxygenation. So it is really so good for you on so many levels. So practice laughing. And it's one of the craziest things. But if you can just sit there and go, by the way, you can, if you don't know how to laugh, let me give you a very quick intro. It's made up of 3 sounds: ha ha ha, ho ho ho, he he he. And so how do you do it? You can actually just sort of fake laugh for a few minutes and just go ha ha ha, ho ho ho, he he he, he 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 he, ho 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 ho, ha 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 ha, ho ho ho, he he. And then you'll notice that every little bit, a little bit of real laughter comes into it. So practice saying it at different speeds, at different volumes, and just notice how it feels. Even already, I've just done it for a few seconds. I kind of feel like a little bit of a smile kind of on my face, even though it was fake, and it became a little bit of a boost of happiness. So practicing fake laughter, very, very, very cool for you. Then finally, I want to leave you with one more tip. So if you are going to stress, right? Like if that's inevitable in your eyes, then why don't we do one thing? Why don't you schedule it? Now, I know that sounds crazy, but if you're going to do it anyway, then why not just do it effectively, but do it for a period of time? So here's what I mean. If you think, oh my God, there's no way I can avoid it, I'm just going to be stressed, that's the kind of person I am, okay, fine. So why don't we do one thing? Just say, okay, I am going to 2 p.m. That's the time I'm going to check my WhatsApp messages. And then at 10 past 2, I'm going to stress and I'm going to worry. I'm going to worry so hard because I'm an achiever. I'm going to do my best to be the best worrier there is out there. And I said worrier, not warrior, not like kind of person, like a warrior. And then for 10 minutes, just be like, oh my God, oh, that stuff is terrible. Oh my life is, my God, and just do it effectively for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes up, okay, now I gotta, worrying done. That's it. Now I gotta move on. Now focus on your book. Focus on that thing that you've been putting off for forever. Focus on writing that article. Focus on researching that thing that you wanted to research. Focus on reading that personal development book that you've had on your bookshelf for the last 10 years, saying, you know what, I'll do that one day. Focus on whatever it is that is going to progress you in your life. Focus on something that's going to move you forward. I want you to use your time wisely. Netflix is good. I get it. I'm a fan. I'm guilty. However, use your time wisely. In a way, this can be a gift for you if you use it wisely. And I'm coming to you with love. Coming to you because I care. And I believe that to a certain degree, connectivity has taken people apart in the past, right? You go to dinner, people are on their phone, and we're so connected to so many people in the world that it has taken us apart. I want this time of isolation to bring people together, to know what we've been taken for granted. For you to reach out to a friend, a loved one, or someone you haven't seen in a while and send a message. Let them know you're thinking of them. Let them know that they're not alone. Let them know that there's love in there. And perhaps you could make someone's day. And if they feel really amazing because of it, tell them to pay it forward. Do it for one other person. Because I want you to thrive. To survive and to thrive in this time of need. And I feel that we can help each other do that as well. So, I want to thank you for coming on, listening to me ramble, and let's make a difference for yourself and for others. I appreciate you and I thank you. And I want to see what you can come up with in these next few days. One love, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Peace out.